Hey guys. All right, this video was a long time in the making and something I kind of avoided making back in the day when I was originally making videos. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of Vacsucks, how I almost got the subreddit deleted, and kind of the drama and controversy that surrounded it at the time when I was moderating there. And this video is probably going to be a little bit speculative just because it's impossible to fill in all the details on the things that are going that happened at the time. So to start off, I'll kind of show the thread that the Reddit admins came in and deleted and subsequently banned my account because, you know, I was a moderator on the sub and I was letting that thread stay up, and they claimed it had they claimed that we were doxing like a global offensive moderator. So the story is a Reddit user posted on Vacsucks that he noticed the programmer for AimTux, which was a Linux CSGO cheat, had the exact same name as one of the moderators on the Global Offensive subreddit. And it wasn't just the same name. They had other similarities as well, and I'll get into those in a little bit. But before I kick off on that too far, I just want to get out in front of this and say that I don't think they were the same people, despite there being an insane amount of similarities between these two people. The guy that coded AimTux and the moderator named Daniel J was his username. I'm not doxing you, dude. It's your fucking Reddit username. Anyways, I'm going to avoid using their last name in this just because it's just good etiquette on the internet, you know, not to throw people's last name around too often if you don't have to, especially when we're talking about trying to match them up with somebody else or whatever. Like, I can get the point of this story across just fine without using his last name. So I'll keep that separation, and I've edited the last name out of these pictures. So let's talk about the similarities that these two guys had that were brought up in the thread, and kind of go over them. So first, they had the exact same first name and last name. They both lived in Australia, and they lived in the same city. At the time, I thought they lived in two different cities, but after kind of digging a little bit, they did live in the exact same city, but it was a big city in Australia. They were both heavily invested in CSGO, obviously. One was a moderator, one was a programmer for the AimTux cheat. They were both heavily invested in Linux as well. They both did a lot of C++ programming. What else? Oh yeah, they used the same Linux distro, Arch, which is a popular Linux distro, but they also used the same like custom window manager called i3 Custom Window Manager, which was a little bit more obscure. So there was definitely a few things, and I went over their GitHub commit history, and if you overlap them a little bit, you can actually kind of see at some points it's like if it's the same person, they wouldn't overlap, right? Because if he's working on like a personal project, he wouldn't be working on like the AimTux stuff, right? So I felt like their commit history in GitHub kind of matched up similarly enough that it could be the same person. And also the Reddit user, the moderator, Daniel J, ended up quitting CSGO the exact same month that AimTux finally got vac banned. AimTux, like I said earlier, was a Linux cheat, and it took a long time for it to get vac banned. I think it was running for 2 years. There was no vac on Linux. That's why it took so long. You could literally cheat with anything. There was no vac running on Linux. Thanks Valve for for allowing CS:GO to run on Linux without any fucking anti-cheat, by the way. So the Reddit user Daniel J, the moderator, quit CS:GO the exact same month that AimTux was caught and banned. So yeah, there were a lot of similarities between these two users. So let's put the shoe on the other foot. And what's the argument against them not being the same person, right? First, the main one is, what cheat developer would ever fucking sign up using his real name to a GitHub account, right? Like, if you're going to be making cheats for a game, where you could potentially get sued by developers and stuff like that. Yeah, Valve hasn't done that, but like Blizzard has gone after developers of cheat programs and stuff like that. There is a very, very low chance that you would sign up with your real name. So it's a high probability that the cheat dev that made AimTux just signed up with a fake name, and then the other coincidences just happened to overlap, right? Also, the moderator on Global Offensive had a super active blog, and that's kind of where that was one of the reasons I got banned. Actually, when this fucking thread was posted on Vacsucks, I knew. Okay, let's go off on a tangent here. I knew that at the time the Global Offensive mods would often read the Vacsucks subreddit because they were. Here's an example. One of the like original mods, Citypie, was his name. He fucking literally messaged me on Twitter to remove a meme post on Vacsucks because it was against our subreddit rules, that it wasn't about pro cheating. So he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, do you think you could remove this post from your subreddit? It doesn't follow your community guidelines." I'm like, dude, how about you go fuck yourself and mind your own fucking business? So from that and a couple other examples, they asked me to remove other posts too, and I just basically told them to fuck off every single time. I knew that they watched it, so I knew when this thread came in, speculating that a Global Offensive moderator might be the same person that programmed AimTux. I knew it was going to get noticed by Global Offensive mods eventually, and it did within about 15 minutes. So I saw the thread almost as soon as it was posted. I went to his blog. I saved his blog so I can access it offline. And then about 5 minutes after I saved it, he deleted it, or he took it down. He took the website down, and if you tried to go to his blog, it just said LOL. And I'm like, okay, you think you're so fucking smart, eh? So I uploaded his blog to Mediafire and shared it in the post on the subreddit, and that's what eventually got me banned, because I doxed him for saving his blog, right? And his blog is back up online now, but anyways, and his fucking another tangent here. Monso, one of the he's really an OG moderator on Global Offensive as well. He's been there forever. One of the original guys, and he was in there white knighting for his boy, and just, I mean, he says some shit that was pretty funny, to be honest. But I felt like there was enough weird coincidences that it should at least be looked at, instead of just trolling everybody and calling everybody fucking idiots. Yeah, Vacsucks is, it's toxic and it's tough to have a conversation in there, but you could have just went in and said you'll look into it, and then that would have been that, right? So I felt like there were enough similarities between these two guys when we were speculating about it, that one of the head moderators from Global Offensive could come in and say, yeah, we'll check it out, and that would have been that. Instead, he's coming in, trolling the shit out of people, white knighting for his boy, calling everybody fucking retards, etc. It was a bad look, in my opinion. And yeah, you don't see those guys in that subreddit anymore. The subreddit's kind of died down a lot from back in the day when I was more active on it. So just going back to like the counterpoints on the argument on why these guys weren't the same person. Also, I mentioned he had a super active blog, and he posted to his fucking blog all the time. And AimTux also had a Twitter. So the AimTux guy on Twitter posted that he got a new computer and he was putting it all together or whatever. And then on Daniel's blog, so I'll call the one guy the AimTux guy, the other guy Daniel for the Reddit user. He never posted on his blog that he got a new computer. So I'm like, it's probably not the same guy. I feel like he would have mentioned in his blog, since he talked about fucking everything, that he got a new computer, And he was very like the nerdy type, right? He had a blog post about he stopped using a fucking mouse for his computer. That's how hardcore into Linux he was. He got rid of his mouse and used keyboard only. Moderate, like browsing web pages, doing everything on his computer, keyboard only. Like, okay. Anyways, so there's a lot of like finite details in his blog. I felt like he would have put information about getting a computer in there. So Just another argument on why they weren't the same person. So anyways, we're fucking around in this thread and trying to figure out if it was the same person or not. And it was reported to the Reddit admins by somebody, and they came in and nuked the shit out of the thread. They banned me permanently. They banned the guy that started the thread, and they gave a warning to the other moderators in the subreddit. Oh yeah, really funny. They nuked the thread, but they didn't remove any of the personal information about the Reddit user. So this Daniel J guy, they still had his last name in there. They had the speculation about where he lives. They didn't remove any of the personal information. They removed the backup that I did for his blog, but they still had his full name in there and all this other shit. It was really stupid. Like, if you're gonna delete a thread for witch hunting, at least delete the fucking thread and remove all the comments. I don't know why they just selectively remove some comments. You can still go to the thread today if you have the link for it. So after the thread got nuked, the Reddit admins messaged the remaining moderators, Rido1234 being one of them, and who was only a mod at that time. I think he was there only a few weeks when I got banned. And he messages me on Twitter and he's like, yeah, they're not very happy, and especially since a mod allowed a thread and participated in a thread about that. About doxing someone, in my opinion, not doxing. By the way, your Reddit username literally has your fucking name on it. So they said if it would happen again, they would have banned the subreddit, basically. If that kind of stuff carried on. And that's one of the reasons why I never originally made a video about this. I didn't really feel the need to pursue it further. Like I said, I couldn't find any conclusive evidence that they were the same guy. There was a shitload of coincidences. But to say that it was the same guy, in my opinion, it just wasn't quite there. If there would have been like Twitter posts from the AimTux Twitter that lined up exactly with this Daniel J guy's blog, then okay, that's a slam dunk, right? But I looked and there was never any real correlation between the two. So anyways, like I said, I think it was two different guys. And that is how I almost got the Vacsucks subreddit banned. And that is how I got myself banned from Reddit as well. So if you're wondering where that mod is now, he, like I said, he quit CSGO once AimTux was detected. And he's no longer a moderator on Global Offensive. I don't know when he left the moderator role. But now all he does, like I checked his Reddit username, and all he does is post about like anime and hentai and stuff like that and weird subreddits and shit. Yeah, ironically, so I was going through his Reddit post, and ironically I found a post that he removed about AimTux. There was an AimTux post on the Global Offensive subreddit, and he removed it. Rule 6, that's cheating. I think it was Rule 6. I can't fucking remember. Anyways, just funny. Like, what are the chances, right? I feel like this whole thing probably could have just been avoided if the Global Offensive mods would have screened their candidates a little. Like, at least Google the guy's name or check out his GitHub page. He had a blog at the time. Check out his blog. Google the name, see if it matches anything. You would have gotten hits that it matched a cheat developer, and that should have probably thrown up some red flags for them. Then they could at least follow up with them and be like, hey, do you know anything about this? Or at least ask him some questions ahead of time before just making him a mod. Like the Global Offensive subreddit is over 1 million subs now. It's a pretty big community, and it is a little powerful being in control of that community, right? It can make or break a lot of stuff. Like, it made DK's career, basically. Like, all of his stuff was upvoted to the top. And I remember actually a situation where Yi Lamau or Don Hassey, he made a tweet about a roster change, and it was instantly removed by the mods because they didn't like him. And then I asked the mods, I'm like, what the fuck's up with that? Like, are you going to allow the tweet when DK tweets it in like half an hour? And they're like, well, we'll see, blah, blah, blah. And sure enough, DK tweets it half an hour later about a roster move coming up. Goes directly to the top of the subreddit, right? So don't underestimate the power of a community with 1 million people and getting your face in front of that many people, right? Because that is basically what built DK's career. talking about roster moves and stuff like that. And now he does shit like that full time, right? Or they could easily suppress other things, like that was Yi Lamau talking about it, so that they didn't allow him to talk about it, but they allowed certain other people to talk about it. And it's shit that like Richard Lewis has run into stuff like that too, where his content was getting heavily moderated by Reddit, and they wouldn't allow certain shit. Back when I was doing YouTube more often, like years ago when I was making my main content, if I wanted to post a video, if I had a video that wasn't about cheating, like my player profiles, don't talk about cheating at all, I could post it on the Global Offensive subreddit, but I'd have to message the mods privately to get approval, right? So my channel was like automatically shadow banned by the subreddit, and it would look like it posts, and you could see you could see your post is there, sort of thing, if you look yourself. But if you checked with another account, it wouldn't show up. So it was automatically shadow banned by the auto mod there. And yeah, I guess I'm just trying to get the point across that don't underestimate the mods, the power that those mods have. You know, they can make or break YouTube channels or Twitter people and career stuff like that. You know, it makes a lot of sense. Anyways, I don't think very highly of the guys there, as you've probably heard from this video. I actually think they're all fucking retarded for the most part, or at least the OG ones that I was talking 2 years ago. I thought they were pretty fucking dumb, and that's my opinion on it. Anyways, yeah, I guess that sums it up, guys. Thanks for watching. A little history lesson there for Vacsucks and the Global Offensive subreddit and some shit that went down a few years ago. Let me know if you like this type of shit. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down, and I'll catch you next time, all right? Peace.